Yo, welcome to another Nick Says Go video. As you can see, I look a little bit different right now. Yesterday I had LASIK eye surgery done, and it's fucking crazy. I can see for the first time in my life without glasses. It's. I think that's the only way I can put it. It's crazy. I've worn glasses since I was about 5 or 6 years old. Currently 28, about to be 29, so that's a long time. But I can see it's nuts. A lot of people have been asking since yesterday, what the procedure is like, what the consultation looks like, what to expect. I'm no expert by any means, but I can share my experience, tell you what I went through, the research I did, what the recovery looks like, what the procedure felt like and looked like. So, if you want to fix your broken ass eyes like me, tune in and I'll tell you what I got. So I'll say to start off, I tell you about the consultation I had. So I went to LASIK Vision Institute. They have free consultations for anybody. You go in, and a LASIK consult is almost like a really, really, really long eye exam, right? It's a bunch of testing, a bunch of scans, a bunch of lasers and this and that to check your eyes, and it's like an eye exam, but just expect to be there for a lot longer than a normal eye exam. When they're doing these tests, they're trying to see like the shape of your eye, right? They're trying to get as detailed as possible about what you can see and what you can't see, what the inside of your eye looks like, what the outside looks like. So it's pretty detailed. I was there for maybe hour, I want to say, maybe about an hour, just doing a bunch of different tests, and they found out that my vision is bad as hell, blind as shit, but I was a good candidate for LASIK, which is cool. The place I went to, they told me the limit was somewhere around like the -8 to -9 mark, I think. My eyes were sitting at about a -7 and a -6, so kind of approaching that limit, but still very much possible to get LASIK done. So that was cool. I also learned a lot because I never really knew what bad vision was, right? I've just been used to not being able to see. I never looked up like what creates bad vision. What does that mean? What is it? So they started showing me all the charts and all the scans and all the 3D like layout things they did. So essentially, somebody with 20/20 vision and with a perfectly healthy eye, like the surface of their cornea and the eye and everything is like, not the cornea, I don't remember, sorry, but the surface of their eye as a whole is like flat, right? I think it's the cornea, whatever. It's flat. It's a round-ish surface, and the surface is like fully flat, right? Somebody with, like me, fucked up vision, it's not flat. It's not perfectly round. It's like peaks and valleys. It looked like I pulled up, freaking like the Blue Ridge Mountains, in Google Maps. Like that's what my eye looked like. So just a bunch of peaks and valleys and mountains and hills, and my eyes just like all over the place. So what the surgery actually does is it takes those peaks and valleys and like flattens them so that the eye becomes round, becomes flat, like a person with normal eyes, right? So that's what the whole procedure is about. So I learned that. I didn't know that. I learned something new. I started going through all the potential risks. They started telling me potentially you could have, small amount of cases, but potentially you can end up with drier eyes than normal. You can end up with a lot more glare than normal. Different things like that. And for me, I'm like, any procedure you get done, any kind of surgery, there's always a risk for something to go wrong. And I'm already blind as is. It can only get so much worse, because if I end up having to wear glasses, I would have had to end up wearing glasses all my life anyway. I assumed the risk. I said, you know what, let's do it. I made the appointment. So the surgery itself, this is what it looks like. They literally are taking the topmost surface of your eye, cutting a circular flap out of it, folding the flap back, shooting the lasers into your eye to flatten that surface out, and then putting the flap back. It sounds like some crazy sci-fi movie type shit, but that's what it is, right? So I get to the appointment. They check my eyes one more time, make sure I'm good to go. Once I lay down on the bed, they numb the hell out of your eyes with these drops. You don't feel a thing. You even lose your reflex for blinking, right? So you're literally just sitting there. They hold one eye open with some clamps. They put this machine on your eye that it just feels like pressure, right? It just feels like somebody's like pushing your eye in. It doesn't hurt because it's numb, but you still feel like that internal pressure, right? So they're pushing on your eye. It just feels like pressure. And during this pressure, that's when the flap is getting cut open on your eyeball, right? Feels weird as hell. Lasts about 20 to 30 seconds for each eye while they're doing that. Once they cut that open on both eyes, they move you over to this other machine. While the flap is back, you're focused like on this little green laser. All you see is colors, and you're just looking, and they want you to look at this green laser. While you're looking at the green laser, they're shooting the lasers in your eye, and it lasts about 15 seconds per eye for me. That part is dependent on how bad your vision is. Some people it's only about 5 seconds, some people it's up to 30 seconds. Mine was about 15 seconds, if I remember correctly, per eye. And that's it. You just look at this laser, they shoot it in for about 15 seconds, they say you're done. They put the flap back down, make sure it's in the perfect spot. You get up, you can see. I got up off the table, I could see everything. I'm like, this is fucking nuts. I can just see for the first time ever. I can see instantly. The only thing is when you first get off the table, there is a little bit of haziness over your eyes. It kind of looks like if you were swimming, or if you have your glasses on and your glasses are foggy, it kind of looks like that. That's what your vision seems like. But you can see. The numbing drops are still there for about another hour, about an hour and a half. So with that being said, you want to get your ride home quickly, take some melatonin, take some Tylenol, take whatever you got to take so that you go to sleep. Because once those numbing drops wear off, it is going to feel like somebody threw sand in your eye, or pepper spray or something. Like it doesn't necessarily hurt. I wouldn't call it painful, but it's definitely like infuriating and like very discomforting. Not necessarily pain, but it don't feel that good. It don't feel that good at all. So luckily I fell asleep pretty quickly, but I did wake up in the middle of my nap. I guess I didn't take enough Tylenol or melatonin, because I woke up like 2 hours later, and that discomfort can last between about 3 or 4 hours. So I woke up after 2 hours and I was like, man, what the fuck? My eyes are just like watering profusely. My nose is running. Like I said, it's weird because it still doesn't hurt. There's no pain. It's just like extreme discomfort, right? I'm just like, this is nuts. So my eyes are watering everywhere. Nose is snotty. So I take another Tylenol and I go back to sleep. And I pretty much slept until I put it like this. This was 4 p.m. yesterday when I got back home. I went to sleep at about 5. I woke up for the final time about 10 p.m. and I could see. The discomfort stopped, the eye watering stopped. Things are starting to be a little bit more crisp with my vision, and I can just see for the first time. I went back to sleep. I woke up this morning today at about 5 a.m., maybe 4 or 5 a.m. Things were a lot more crisp than they were the day before, a little less sensitive to light. I could walk around my apartment, I can see things, everything is crisp. Felt pretty good, which was weird. It was just weird to see myself in the mirror and just be able to walk around without glasses on. It's kind of weird. So I had my follow-up appointment this morning. They're gonna get you a follow-up the very next day always. Your first follow-up is gonna be the next morning just to make sure everything looked good. I walked in, they did a couple more eye scans on me, some up close work just to make sure my eyes were healing okay, make sure that the swelling was like a normal amount of swelling. Nothing outrageous happened. My eyes were perfect. Everything was healing properly. I have 20/20 vision in my right eye, 20/30 in my left eye, and then combined when I'm looking at things is 20/20. So they say usually you'll have one eye that's just a little bit slower than the other eye. So I was right on track for that. Not that much of a difference at all, but they said over the next week or two, All of that should level back out. I have a little bit of haziness, a little bit of blurriness on the edge of certain things I'm looking at, and they said that should level out, between a week or a couple weeks at the most, depending on how quickly my eyes heal. So overall, I can see, I can read things, I can focus on things. Everything is crisp. I feel good. It's just nuts, right? It's nuts. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was scared as hell to do the procedure. Even when I was on the table, I was like grabbing my shirt, just, trying not to like move around. I'm just gripping the hell out of my shirt, trying to sit still. And even just for those 5-10 minutes, like I was nervous as hell. But I mean, it's your eyes, right? You're still awake. It's your eyes. You can see them lowering the machine on top of your eyeball. It's weird. It's very weird. So if you're scared, if you're nervous, I get it. It makes sense, because I was then about to piss myself, man. I'm like, yo, this is, man. If I could have had somebody in there with me, I would have been like, man, hold my hand, please, yo. Hold my hand. But it's not that bad. I think fear of the unknown. I think because it's your eye. And I think because it's like lasers and shit, like I think it's fair to be a little nervous and a little scared. But overall, I'm pleased. I'm glad I did it. I wish I probably would have done this sooner than later. Another important thing I know people are going to ask about is the pricing. Pricing, it just depends on what your eye, what your eye prescription is, how bad your eyes are. I was at a -7. It's pretty damn bad. My total price came out to be $3,600, period. $3,600 total, right? Usually I see about $2,000 per eye as like the running rate for most places. So a little bit lower than what the average is, I think. So $3,600 total. They did have financing as well. You don't have to pay out of pocket up front. They offer me 0% interest for 18 months, broken down evenly. So, we're talking about $200 a month for, a year and a half. No interest. It's not bad at all. I'll take that to be able to see for a long ass time clearly. Yeah, it's worth it to me. So, look into that, shop around, do some research. But yeah, I love it. I'm glad I did it. I don't have much else more to say other than, if you're considering it, if you're scared, I think that's normal. I was scared as hell. But I think my saving grace was, while they're doing the procedure, they're counting down the seconds for each step, right? So once they started shooting the laser, they're like 15 seconds. All right, 10 seconds left. All right, 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1, right? So that helped out a little bit, ease my nerves some. And then just knowing that it's not that bad, right? I trust them. I know they know what they're doing. The success rate is very high, and I'm just stressing about it's gonna make it worse. And I'm not trying to do that. So if you're thinking about it, at least go get a consultation done. It's free in most places. I don't think I've ever seen a LASIK place give a consultation where it's not free. So just go get one at least. They don't touch your eye. It's just like a big eye exam. Go from there, talk about pricing, and just see what you think, man. See what you think. This is just day one. I'm loving it so far. I ordered a pair of sunglasses last week. They should be coming in the mail today. I was pressed for these sunglasses, man. I can't wait to walk around wearing sunglasses every day. That's crazy. I can just buy a pair that I want anytime I want. Y'all not gonna be able to tell me shit, man. But that's all I got, man. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, leave a comment below, email me, whatever. I'll give you whatever info I got. I hope you find resources if you need them. But that was my experience. No pain. I feel good. I can see clearly. I'm just waiting on things to heal up a little bit more, but I'm good. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you get done, and holla at me. Peace.